Your story has power. Welcome to the conversation. It's time to speak your truth, tribe. This is Don't Shut Me Up, the podcast where we, Munday and L.I.F.E, are here to amplify our voices and yours.
I'm L.I.F E, your certified life coach, nonprofit leader, and your girl survived cancer. I'm here to help you crack your voice.
And I'm Munday, your subject matter expert on stopping the silence of personal growth, social justice, or just helping you share your story.
So join us on Don't Shut Me Up for bold, inspiring conversations that will make you laugh, cry, but most importantly, you will feel seen and heard.
All right, Loud and Clear Collective, we're excited to speak with you. So join the movement because silence
is not an option. We're back.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Don't Shut Me Up. I'm Munday.
It's your girl L.I.F E.
And we are here to amplify our voices and yours. You guys, when it's something strange in your neighborhood, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters,
baby.
Listen. You guys know last time when we left off, we were talking about ghosting, right?
We couldn't wait to get into this.
You know, we've got our ghosts here, and we've got a little something for that ghost.
Shoot 'em, Munday.
Pew, pew. You guys, thank you so much for spending this time with us because you can be anywhere else, but you decided to be here with us. We also brought the ghost so you can spend some time talking to them too.
You know what? It wasn't hard to find him because he was working overtime. It wasn't hard. When we called him, he came running.
So, friend, what are we talking about today?
Ghosting is shutting us up.
Ooh!
Ghosting.
I love
We
it.
told you we couldn't wait to get into it. And with our creative minds, I'm going to give a shout out to my friend. Friend was like, let's put the costumes on. Let's just make it happen. Let's go big.
That's right.
Big Boo.
Big Boo. We got Big Boo over here, and we got Bust a Bus.
Bust a bus in the building.
That's right. And we about to bust them boos.
Bust it. Bust it. Bust it.
You guys, of course, this is a topic that everybody is thinking about. Like, that's the climate that we're living in today, is that people are just very uncomfortable with expressing themselves and disappearing. I just really am grateful for this topic today because we know we're going to help some people out there that need it. And we're also going to help ourselves in the process.
Absolutely. It's going to be a lot of revelation. Mm-hmm. It's going to some tools to help you deal with ghosting. Mm-hmm. But for us, it's liberating.
Yes. Yes,
you know,
it is.
I can sit here and say, I've been ghosted.
Yes.
But we're not going to get into that right now.
Yes.
Let's do it, friend.
Let's do it. So, you guys, we just going to jump into it. I have been ghosted and I have been doing the ghosting. And I was talking to a friend earlier today, and I just have to do this because I had some notes on ghosting from back on November the 19th of 2020 at 11:34 p.m. Now, y'all know when it gets too late and you ain't heard from somebody.
I got to take these gloves off, friend. I'm sorry.
Yeah, take a friend out, friend. Please be comfy. But, you know, the idle mind is the devil's workshop, okay? And this particular night on November 19th of 2020 at 11:34 p.m., I began to put in my notes what I wanted to message a person who I had not heard from or that was not responding to my messages. And it go a little something like this. You guys, I'm being transparent here. So please welcome me with open arms, Truth Tribe, because this is my truth. Okay? This was 4 years ago. Hey, ghost. Just wondering if I'm being ghosted. Sometimes I think no response is a response. If this is the case, it's fine. I like getting to know people, and it's difficult to get to know someone in general without communicating. Am I ghosted? Yes or no? It literally says, circle, check. or X.
Went back to elementary on that. You like me? Yes or no?
Yes
circle.
or no. You guys, in this moment, when I looked at that message, I was like, oh my gosh, because I'm grateful to have graduated, in a sense, from that space somewhat. But following that, I've also found myself being the ghoster. Okay.
What does that look like?
So what that looks like is I've communicated what I felt like needed to be communicated. I wasn't listened to in that moment. And so in order to set a boundary, I stopped communicating. And so that's my truth. So if I'm hurt because you didn't listen to me, then I'm going to retreat, because I don't want to experience that kind of hurt anymore. That's from a Black woman Monday, aka bus a bus standpoint. Right. That's how I felt in that moment. Now, I'm not maliciously doing it because I feel like I communicated it, friend.
Right.
I had to set a boundary, and sometimes people don't understand the boundary that I set.
Yeah.
So it comes across as being ghosted. Now, I have reached back out to people just to see how they were doing or whatnot, but just we're not on that level anymore.
Gotcha.
Or if it ever was.
Well, I appreciate you reading your text message, because I know our Truth Tribe may have similar stories.
Yeah.
Texting, emailing, I don't know, picking up the phone, whatever, to say, hey, are you ghosting me? Leaving countless voicemails, but text after text after text. People do that.
Yeah.
You know, because that silence is like devastating on you mentally, emotionally, and it can be devastating on you physically too. Like holistically, silence can destroy an individual when someone in the beginning was talking to you every day, and then, you know, for whatever reason you're ghosted, you know. So I appreciate you for reading that text. People are like, when did ghosting become so popular? We don't know when ghosting started, right? Like, but they say in the 2000s, but honestly, I think when we touch down here as humans,
right,
in some shape or form, there was some type of ghosting. It probably had a different terminology or a different word back then. I don't know, but we just don't know. But we do know that it became very popular due to the social media platform. Okay. People are talking about it constantly, which is revving up the energy of ghosting, right?
Yes.
When you're on social media, you're kind of given the blueprint on how to ghost, you know, and it's easy too on the social media platforms to ghost, because all you have to do is do what? Block. Or I love this one. You send a message, prayer hands. Oh, I was about to say something. Get out of here, ghost. You know what I'm saying? Prayer hands. Okay.
Yeah.
With nothing else but silence, but emojis. Oh, not even that, you know. So it's really easy to ignite and spark that energy of ghosting. And we have to be careful of that. Don't shut us up in ghosting.
It's keeping us silent. And we could have simply just had the discussion, whether you're interested or whether you're not, or if it's not going anywhere, just say that.
Right.
It's a lot better than just not saying anything at all. I know that ghosting is real and that it dates back pretty far.
Okay.
Based on, y'all, don't shut me up.
Don't shut her up.
Based on the number of children that are born that don't know who their parents, their fathers are.
You done said something. All right, let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Based on, so it's got to date back to somewhere, and I'm sorry to say that. I felt so bad saying that when it came out, friend.
Say it again, friend.
But based on the number of children that have been born into this world, and there's an absent parent. That's a form of ghosting, isn't it?
It really is. You're going pretty deep right now, friend. You know what? But you know what? That's a download, and that's how we operate here at Don't Shut Me Up. We are operating off of downloads and what the Spirit tells us to say.
Yes.
And that is a good call out, is when children are born into single parent households.
Yes.
And one of the parents is missing. That is a form of ghosting, and that does date back very far.
Because they'll be like, girl, I ain't heard from John. He ain't called and checked. I told him it was mine. And then it's almost like we want to be a ghost from that situation because it's not acceptable. We complain about it, but you ain't seen John in 15 years.
Right. And then all of a sudden, boop,
You pop back up.
Look, right here. Shut your mouth. Listen, okay? So it's so many different forms of ghosting. It's all relationship bound.
Yes.
You can ghost at work. You can ghost with your friends. And ghosting is it's just a lack of emotional maturity.
Yes.
There's so much out there as to why a person will ghost. Like I said, I was ghosted, right? And I didn't know how to handle it, okay? But I am here to say to you, okay, my ghosting was connected to karmic connections.
Come on, friend.
Okay?
Come on, speak
it
about
took
it.
me a minute to get there, because when a person ghosts you and you don't know why, or say for instance, in my situation, I called the person out because they were moving different. They were moving in a place that I wasn't familiar with at the time. In my growth and development stage, right? But I will say this too. To hold myself accountable, I had no business trying to date life after cancer. No business. But I was trying to get back to the old Stacy. Oh, you got it. After losing so much and going through so much, and your self-confidence is just shot to hell. Somebody's looking at me. Somebody likes me. Oh, okay. I'm getting my Stacy back. I'm getting my life back.
Yeah.
Big boo.
Come on, big boo.
So that's a part of it too. I had to realize that I had no business trying to date anybody. Okay. I just needed to heal. But in this situation here, there were things that I did not like. I did not like the lack of communication. I did not like on Monday through Thursday, I heard from you.
Come on.
Friday through Saturday, you went ghost. Sunday, you popped back up. And that was a pattern that I allowed. Okay. And so it went on for a very long time. Okay. It went on for a minute. I did not like it, did not like the situation. But, dealing with my issues, I'm just like, no, this is good. I'm a life coach. I can fix this.
I can fix this.
I can fix it. Just give me a minute. I'm going to stay a little bit longer, because that was the ego. I can fix this. I fix people. Right. And so I called this individual out, friend. Right. Through a text.
Yeah.
And that person went ghost. That person went ghost on me. Did not talk to me for months, right? No texting, no nothing. Just went ghost because I called that individual out, that ghost out. And I couldn't handle it.
You was a Ghostbuster at that point.
Right. I couldn't handle it because I am a person. I'm nosy, friend. I tell people up front, seriously. I tell people up front, friend, just tell me. If you don't like me anymore, or if you're like wanting to move in a different direction, it is okay for you to tell me up front. I'll deal with it in that moment, but I'll get over it because I have a lot of tools in my belt that I can use to get you out of my system. Exactly. But I just need you to tell me because I'm nosy.
Yeah.
How do I say this? I tell people all the time, if we're watching a movie, you didn't seen the movie and you know what's going to happen. You can tell me the ending And I'll continue to watch that movie as though you never told me.
You never said a word.
Never said a mumbling word. Because I'm nosy and I need to know. Right? So this individual knew. Okay? And I think this individual was good at ghosting Fran. This is nothing new. It was on his resume. Right? It was a core competency. I'm done.
Your ghosting is a core competency. You are very competent at ghosting.
Absolutely.
That's your specialty.
That on your resume, it's going to get you pulled. Okay. You know how they do you got to have these certain buzzwords in order for them to pull your resume.
Ghosting is at the top.
All through it. Pull this one right here.
Perfect
for the job.
candidate.
Right. And so really quickly, as I went through that stage of trying to figure out, and I'm just going to say this, okay, because this is my truth.
Yes.
This individual ghosted me, but I still saw you. Friend, you already know.
Yeah,
you
know.
Ghosted me, but I still see you out in public. That's the worst. That is the worst that you can do to a human is ghost them, and then at parties I still see you. I still see you. Transparency?
You transparent.
Look, PNG. You know how you be pulling up those pictures on Google? Make sure it's PNG.
PNG.
And so, friend, this was playing with me because I gave you an earful.
Yes, friend.
Because I couldn't understand because, honestly, I need to know. And so, to make a long story short, I was in counseling. I've always been in counseling for a very long time. So I'm just putting that out there, Truth Tribe. I love counseling. Mm-hmm. But this was a topic that I had to talk about every time I entered into those doors was the ghosting part. What was wrong? And let me tell you what was attached to it. Because that situation, that person was placed in my life on purpose. Mm-hmm. Because certain people come into your life and they do things, and you may say they're the worst individual in the world, but when you reframe it, and you got the tools to reframe it, you look at that individual as thank you because you helped me correct myself. Mm-hmm. Okay? Mm-hmm. So a part of my ghosting, I had to deal with the hardcore truth, friend, and that was rejection and abandonment.
Come on, friend. Come on.
Get out of here.
Come on.
I had to deal with rejection and abandonment. The two things that I am in counseling for because of childhood experiences. Mm-hmm. Okay. So dealing with rejection and abandonment now led me down the path of deliverance. So I went through a course of deliverance, which was connected to rejection and abandonment. Okay. So now I'm on that course of deliverance. And I remember my teacher asked me, what were the inner vows that you made to yourself as a little girl to protect yourself from whatever was going on in your ecosystem?
Oh, come on.
So now God is downloading so much stuff to help me understand. I sent this person to you because I need you to correct some things in order for you to really take off in your purpose.
Come on.
I'm about to shout.
Come on, girl.
Okay.
Come on.
Like I told you, this is going to be healing.
Yes,
okay.
It is.
And so
yes,
I'm in it. Friend has been trying to give me some really good insight. And I know friends like, here she go again talking about this doggone ghosting.
Not at all.
Mm-hmm. And as I'm going through this journey now, this didn't happen overnight.
However long it takes for you to, and you may never fully heal the way you want to heal from it. And I think it's okay for us to give ourselves grace in that moment and to understand, because sometimes it's so painful that we like to start blaming ourselves.
Yes.
And then we think it's something that we did, and it brings up all kinds of insecurities within ourselves. And, we just start questioning like, oh, what did I do? Is it me? Do I look good? Is it her?
Come on,
Is
friend.
it this person? when really it has nothing to do with a physical attribute.
Right.
It's mainly about communication. So yeah, if you're left in that state, I think it's very, very, very important for you to give yourself some grace. Just know that it's not you.
Right. It's not. And I had to also take responsibility too, friend, because I knew that I was not supposed to be connected to that individual.
Right.
Like literally within one day.
You feel it.
Of talking to this person.
You feel it.
I knew. I was like, we're not on the same path.
Right.
There is some emotional healing that needs to happen within you. There's definitely some emotional healing that needs to happen within me.
Yes.
But for whatever reason, ego was like, no, go ahead and do it. It's cool.
Ego. It's all good.
You guys are
ahead.
You guys are cute.
You're
you do it. Right.
Yeah,
you're compatible. Do it.
Oh, it's cute. Yes. All the feels.
You do it. And then in the end, when the ghosting happens, you're left with, oh my God, you're left with rejection and abandonment.
Yes.
That's what I was left with, right?
Yes.
As I journeyed through that emotional road of healing, let me say it like that.
Yes.
So much was uncovered about myself. And another thing that was uncovered about myself was I had anxious attachment issues.
Come on, friend. Let's talk about that. And the anxious attachment, anxious avoidant. Absolutely.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Anxious attachment, anxious avoidant. I didn't even know those words existed until when I tell you this was a spiritual journey for me. Oh my goodness. Yahweh was guiding me along the path of least resistance, but I was trying to stay in the resistance because I could not bear to deal with rejection and abandonment. But in the end, I'm so grateful for my tribe.
Yes.
I'm so grateful for my friend, Bussa Bus.
Bussa Bus.
I'm so grateful for counseling. I'm so grateful for a space to be able to talk so vulnerably about something that can be embarrassing to talk about.
Yes.
That I got to this place. This is a spiritual class that I entered into that I needed to learn so much about myself. So once I get through this class and I'm aware I have more tools in my belt, I can deal with, it's not that I can deal with. I can now see what is for me and what is not for me. I can now explain my negotiables and my non-negotiables.
Come on.
So much healing came from this connection with the ghost that I met. Thank you so much. If you're watching this, thank you. I'm not mad at you. I was in the beginning, but I'm not mad because you had to come into my life. Mm-hmm. You had to get me across that hump so I could see myself. There were things hiding inside of me that I needed to deal with to really understand my worth.
Yes.
Karmic connection through ghosting.
Come on.
And hey, I'm doing good now.
Yes. Amen. Just fine.
You better sing it.
Woo.
I know, Truth Tribe, you have a lot of stories. You have moments that you feel as though you're less than or that you don't matter because somebody ghosted you. But I need you to understand too, what is this person trying to teach you?
Yes.
What karmic connection was brought to you to make you dig deep within the womb, the place that we carry a lot of our emotional instabilities? Mm-hmm. What is this person trying to tell you through ghosting? But also, too, you need to be aware of dealing with a person that is in fear of intimacy, lack of emotional maturity. It may be a spiritual misalignment, right, friend?
That's right. Definitely a spiritual misalignment. And I think that's something that we need to be more cautiously aware of. A lot of people don't think about the spiritual portion and being spiritually aligned with a person, because a person that God has for you is not going to make you feel as though you don't matter. They'll make you feel secure in the beginning.
Yeah.
If you have any doubt in the beginning, trust your gut, because that's God telling you, hey, look, not this one. But but that looks so good.
The flesh wants what the flesh wants because the ego is so powerful.
Yes.
So we literally have to do the work on ourselves before we start jumping into relationships.
We do.
Okay. So we're not just pointing out men that do a lot of the ghosting.
No.
Women
ghost as well.
Thank you. So we as humans, we all ghost.
Yes, we
in
do.
some shape or form.
Some way, shape, form, fashion. Let's talk about that job you just stopped going to. You didn't even want to turn in a 2-week notice. They don't deserve me.
Please talk about it.
I think it's good for us to be able to recognize those things within ourselves, because we're a part of the people population as well. And so it's good to take it's good to do a self-assessment, like you mentioned, and it's good to look within and see what it is about you that you could change. I'm comfortable with letting people be where they are and what they're doing. That could be frustrating for some people, and sometimes I might even look back and be like, now why did I do that? If I'm in a situation, a lot of people do get frustrated with me because I'm not a person that if you don't call or if I don't call. And let me just go ahead and can I share my truth?
I want you to, yes.
Okay, so I have a reason behind this, and it might even be relatable to a ghost, but past traumas do come up.
Yeah.
Past traumas hurt. And I was in a situation once where I was told in so many words not to call somebody. And if you tell me something, I'm good at following directions. I follow directions to a T dot the I. I'm going to follow your direction. If you tell me, hey, look, don't call me. Oh, not only I'm not calling you in this lifetime. I'm not calling you in that lifetime. Hell, don't pray about me.
Friend is telling the truth over here, okay?
Seriously.
Like I look at friend like, ooh, I wish I was like that.
Yeah.
Come on,
for
friend.
real. And so those kinds of things stick with me. So if you show me something in the beginning, I am a great reader. You probably won't have to tell me twice. I've already kind of made it up in my mind, even if it's not the right thought process to me. Logically, this makes sense. Okay, I'm going to respect your boundary, and that's always the space that I am in. Is I'm going to always respect you because I really want respect as well.
Absolutely. Friend, I know Truth Tribe is like, where can I send my text message?
Please, guys.
My email, because we want to hear your story
Yes.
about ghosting and what you think about this topic. Some of you may not agree with what we're talking about. I mean, it's your business, but it's our truth. This platform is so liberating, and for us to speak our stories to you all, like, hey, we're human. We want you guys to get to that level too, but we also just want you guys to walk away with some nuggets on how to manage ghosting. And I just think, like you said, friend, we need to do a critical needs assessment on ourselves. We need to work on ourselves. So when we start to connect with another human, we can see red flags. And we can move instantly away from those red flags.
Yes.
Who wants to be around an individual that cannot express themselves on how they feel? So what you do in your personal life, I'm pretty sure you're doing that in your workplace too. You can't articulate and communicate what you want or how you feel or how somebody's making you feel, and you go ghost.
You go ghost. And I'm glad you said that, friend. This just popped in my mind. I'm getting a download. So you guys, you go ghost with your words too. And so where you're not speaking up, those are spaces that we need to be very cautiously aware. We talked about that a little bit last week, how you don't say anything or you don't speak up. You're in essence ghosting whatever thought process you had, you're shutting yourself up on the job.
Accountability, friend.
Yes.
You want to speak about ghosting and avoiding accountability? Like, that's something as humans we struggle with, is holding ourselves accountable, showing up in an ecosystem knowing that you're broken.
Yes.
And you are dealing with a lot of issues. And when someone in that ecosystem calls you out, you don't want to deal with it. You avoid it. And there you go. You're lost. You're ghosted. Whoop, here you are in front of us.
I think accountability goes both ways too.
Yeah.
Because sometimes a lot of people feel that they can't speak up. They're not provided a space for them to feel comfortable enough to take accountability, I guess, in a certain sense. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
If I know that if I know that I don't feel safe expressing myself to you, then I'm just not going to say anything at all. But definitely accountability should be taken from the person who is doing the ghosting. Some ways, if you are a ghost, let's start there. Can I start there?
Absolutely.
If you are a ghost, practice using your words so that it does not come out in a way that's going to be offensive to the person that you're giving the information to. Because again, it goes back to communication. A lot of people don't know how to communicate. And so when something happens, you go to cussing, acting out, and start an argument just so you can be a ghost.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm valid, so I ain't got to talk to you no more. You ain't got to talk to me no more, and bye. You know? And so it makes it seem like, okay, well, this is the proper thing to do because we just had a volatile interaction. So I'm going to go ahead and just, we can sever ties right here. I'm mad. When really, it don't even have to be all that. It don't even have to be all that. You can talk to someone simply and just say, hey, look, this is not working. I don't like what you said to me. Because eventually you're going to say something that offends somebody, and then, that's when violence starts creeping in. If you're going to be accountable, learn how to use your words and learn how to use them effectively to where you're not offending somebody, because whatever it is, it doesn't matter how it's being said, it's going to be offensive. But just try to tone it down so that it won't be as offensive as if you cussing somebody out to where y'all got to drop everything and go. And I guess that is easier, right? It's easier to drop everything and just, bye. To avoid
what is it?
Anxious and avoidant. Yeah. And so we're going to come to that because I love that. Mm-hmm. I love that topic. Yeah, I love it.
Because we're all dealing with anxious, avoidant,
anxious attachment.
Mm-hmm. We're dealing with these things and we don't even know. We are risky people that's not taking the temperature of our emotions, and we're out here trying to connect with individuals and bring them into our space and bond and get together on an intimate level. And we have so much baggage, emotional baggage that we need to unpack.
I need to say this too, friend, because when it comes to me, I gotta go ahead and say it. On the other side of accountability too, on the person that's being ghosted, from that perspective, it's very, very hard to know that, like you mentioned, friend, about being rejected.
Yeah.
Because a part of that, I feel like, is ego as well.
Yes.
A part of both sides are experiencing ego. The person who's probably doing the ghosting is like, well, I don't owe you nothing. Right. But the other person on the other side of the ghosting is like, you do owe me something. Like, I was here. Both are dealing with the ego. Because like, you owe me. No, you don't. I don't owe you nothing. On the person that's being ghosted side, I think it's very important to not stay long in that situation. Yeah. If someone has stopped speaking to you, I think it's very, very important to understand they stop talking to you. There's no fairy tale in your mind. They're trying to get their life together, or they're just going through a rough time right now.
Excuses. Making no excuses
for the behavior. Just know that it doesn't resonate with your spirit. It doesn't feel good. You're not happy. And if anything is not making you happy, and it's not to your greater good, and if it's not propelling you to do your God-given purpose here on this earth, then you need to cut it off. You need to. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard now.
Right. Because there's some chemical
there's
connections.
some chemical connections in there. If you've been sexually attracted to this person, or if you've laid down with this person, it's going to be difficult. Just know that, and know that it's happening all the time. It's happening all the time. We're not the only people that this has happened to.
Right.
You know, it's been going on for a long, long time. And so we just need to know how to deal with it. So can we talk about how to deal with it?
Yes.
Because
it's
hard.
It is. And I'm telling you, like, my ego was in the way. Okay, my ego was
you
like,
ain't do this to me.
I know you didn't.
Shit, who do you know? Do you know who did?
Wait a minute, I got to sit up in my seat. And my ego was in the way. My ego was crushed. And like I said, you know, life after cancer for me, I was trying to find myself. I was trying to find the new life. I was trying to adjust to this new body of mine. And then I try to jump into dating. Yeah. Like, I had no business doing that, you know? And so I'm just like, my ego was crushed, you know, but a solution, you have to have a gentle ecosystem of tender people that will create that space for you to speak out about it. Mm-hmm. Counseling, I cannot stress that enough. My God, because I mean, I went as far as my counselor telling me, well, just write a note. You don't have to give it to the ghost. You just need to write it out how you feel, and then do whatever you need to do with it, right? I've done all different type of techniques, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, it was just having a space to be able to talk it out loud, right? Holding myself accountable. Okay, we have to start doing that. What role that I play in bringing this energy into my space, right? And really get in front of, why do I feel as though I don't matter? Why do I feel less than? Let me get in front of all of these things. Yeah. So the next time I decide to get back out there on highway dating,
right.
I know how to drive, and I know how to, you know, move in and out of lanes in a safe way. It really starts with you. And like Fran was saying, individuals that are out here ghosting, let go of the control. You out here feeling as though, give me my Purple Heart. I'm wearing a badge of honor called ghosting. I'm in control. I know they're thinking about me. I know they're in this vulnerable place. It's emotional cruelty. That's what it is. And if you have respect for humans, then that should be a code of conduct of yours. But I'll say this too, when you're dating, ask a person, do you have a code of conduct? What do a personal code of conduct?
What are your policies and procedures?
Right, because I need to know. If you don't have that, then you're going to, it's a possibility I'm going to hold you accountable, or it's a possibility that, you know, I may catch you on some things and you're going to avoid that conversation and just ghost me. You know, I feel that people that have a process, friends, people that have order, people that have codes of conduct, they know the respect that they should give to another human. If you don't like that person anymore, if you don't like the fact that this person is questioning you and you're not used to that, and you just stop liking them, that respect is, you know what, let me go ahead and tell this individual, because I don't want to stay in something. So much emotion and physical connection is in this ecosystem, and then I leave this person in a state of despair. You know, like just be around people that have true respect for individuals.
Yeah.
You know, and you can see if a person does, and you can hear just by the way they talk, how they move, their actions. Actions speak louder than words. Let me just say that.
They do. Yeah. Some of our Don't Shut Me Up listeners, if you find yourself in a situation where and you feel that you're being ghosted, know that it's not your fault. There's nothing wrong with you. You look amazing.
Yeah.
You're out here doing amazing things. You got your stuff together. You that man, you that woman, you are. That person was just not worthy of the time you have here on this earth.
Right. And they're just dealing with their own emotional instabilities for whatever it is. You know, it has nothing to do with you.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Just learn from that moment.
Exactly. And I felt like that needed to be said. I've been in a space like that where I haven't felt good about myself. Was very insecure, highly insecure. Not insecure. Let's be clear. I'm not insecure to the point of where any kind of jealousy or anything like that. It's a personal insecurity where I don't view myself as, or I didn't view myself as worthy enough to have a callback or to have someone not ghost me.
Right.
I was trapped in that, like that personal insecurity. It was never against anyone else. I'm comfortable in myself, but it's just something inside of me that says, am I not worthy enough? So like Fran said, you can go through a situation with a person that is ghosting you. I don't know. It's one of them bad feelings, y'all.
It's not a good feeling.
It's not a good feeling, and you go through it. Am I crazy? And then it's like it'll come back up over and over and over again. But I also want to say this because this is something that hit me when I was kind of going through my situation. It was God all along. Mm-hmm. It was God all along with giving me those painful feelings because I was ready to risk it all. You get what I'm saying? I was ready to risk it all for that.
Speak about it,
ghoster.
Friend. People, I feel right now somebody needs to hear this.
Somebody know that
moment that you're speaking about.
I was willing to risk it all
for you, Ghost.
For you, like. I was ready. And again, God has to continuously show up in your life in those ways. He has to in order to get your attention. He knows that we are a people that love. Mm-hmm. He knows that we're a people that want love. That's all we want. That's male, female, whatever the case is. That's all we want is to be loved.
We want that touch, that gentleness, that tenderness is so gentle to our soul. It's so healing. Yep. It's medicine. We thrive for it. And what Friend is saying, if you're in an ecosystem and someone's like, no, I don't care nothing about that. No, they do. If you're a human in this body, we desire love.
We do.
The hardest chick I feel that I was in feelings.
Because you know what I'm saying? Love what?
You should have saw them inner vows I said to myself. Let me tell you something. I desire gentle love.
Love. That's all we want. That's all we want. But what God has to show you is that He is the love that you are looking for. And you got to look for it in God is always with you. It always
Dang it. This real friend, God is always with us.
God is always with you. And the things that you are looking for in another person, He has placed them in you so that you can see them in someone else. Like God is girl. Come on, friend. So He is always, my gosh. And He shows up in those painful ways to get you to see that, yes, this is painful. This is very painful. I would never do you like this.
I will never do you like this.
I'll never do you like this. Don't you understand? Don't put your faith in a man or a woman. Put your faith in me. I am trying to show you who I am. It's like the Lord showing up. The Lord showing up when the ghost leaving. The Lord is always there. And you steady looking for this ghost.
You steady looking for this ghost.
You know what I'm saying? He trying to put, that's traumatizing.
It is traumatizing when you to be ghosted. And no, I need you to, because this is the space friend is in. Friend will go in it. She can see. She's a seer. She's a feeler. Because she is guided off of the intuitive navigational system. It is on constantly. So I'm sitting here absorbing all of this that friend is saying right now because Yahweh
Amen. Come
was
on.
saying to you all along, stop putting your trust in man.
Yes. Stop it. Would you say last time, friend?
Stop it.
He's so convicting, and you have to be at a space where you can hear him.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times we can't because we so busy looking for Mr. Ghost over here. we get entangled. Oh, yeah. Get entangled in it. We like, oh my gosh, why did he ghost me, or why did she ghost me? All I wanted to do. He's trying to pull you closer to him. He like, look, that wasn't even who I was sending for you. I got something much better. It's much better. But we steady trying to figure out. This thing here is turning into smoke. Disappearing. Steady disappearing. And you like, but wait, don't leave.
You see this lifeless thing here? It's lifeless. This ghost is lifeless. You can stick your hand through the ghost. Straight through it. We are not humans that are made up of that type of energy. We have substance, okay? But we want the ghost so bad.
Bad.
Let's do a critical needs assessment for all of our Truth Tribe listeners.
Yes. Come on, Truth Tribe. Come on, Truth Tribe.
Are you loving a ghost right now?
Are you? And I know what you're thinking. You listening to us right now. But in 2 seconds, you finna check your phone.
Come on.
In 2 seconds, you getting ready to check your phone and say, yeah, what they talking about is all good. But let me see if Mr. Boo.
I see Mr. Boo just DM'd me, text me.
Let me see. Oh, he still ain't wrote back. I know. We know what you going through. We know. Trust me. We know you checking right now.
Not too much on my girl.
Clock it. You guys, we know what you're going through. Fellas, we know what you're going through too. There are a lot of men out here that y'all aren't cold-hearted. Mm-hmm. We know that your issue with speaking with us is that we don't give you a platform to speak because you need to be strong. You a man. Man up, that dog it.
Right. Oh, friend, the thing is, this is what we're so quick to do to a man.
Yes.
When we're upset, we're in that moment of frustration. Mm-hmm. We like to belittle that man. You ain't no man.
Oh, man, that made me feel so bad.
I'm not gonna do that. We're not those individuals. We're not. You ain't no man. You ain't this. No, what you're doing is, you know what you're doing. You're so calculated. Okay. Yeah. When you constantly say this, no matter what that man has done, you know, you ain't no man. You ain't did this. You ain't did this. Your little bitty, you know, your little bitty self. Okay. Listen, that man is getting angrier and angrier, and he can go mess around and put his hands around your throat.
Neck, right?
And is that what you want? Because if that's what you feel is your love language, I got a counselor for you right now. A lot of us is walking around with, I love it when we argue, because when we argue, Oh, we gonna make up. And it's toxic.
Oh my God.
Love toxic love.
Ooh, that toxic love.
That's horrible.
And that's what a ghost will do too. I want to take it back to a ghost.
Take it back to this
the ghost. Yeah, let me tell you about this ghost right here, okay? Not gender specific. When an individual leaves you high and dry, sometimes they thrive off of the drama that comes from it, okay? And so what they'll think is that, okay, yeah, well, I can come in and, once I get back in, what I'm saying, then we go ahead and handle the business. And then,
they ghost you again.
They ghost you. They're going to ghost you again. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. I was having a discussion with a friend the other day after someone's made you mad, or ghosted or, no longer there. And then they back in there. We back in there. We back in there. You know what I'm saying? Then all of a sudden it's time for us. Oh yeah, we had great makeup sex. I'm pissed. I can't have great makeup sex because I'm still pissed off. Like I'm pissed off because you are throwing an adult temper tantrum. So Munday, life. What is an adult temper tantrum?
Please speak on it.
So you guys, an adult temper tantrum is a ghost. Okay?
Pretty much.
It's a ghost. An adult temper tantrum is when I go silent on you because you're not doing something that I want you to do. You're not doing something that I want you to do. So guess what? In order to get my way, I'm going to back off until you're doing what I want you to do.
Boo.
Boo. That's an adult temper tantrum. We do that all the time. It's not gender specific. We do it. Instead of just saying, hey, look, this is not going to work for me because we're not compatible in these ways, and going on about your business in this great big old world and finding you someone that meets your need or that aligns, then you throw your adult temper tantrum.
And you ghost. If you're at a place in your life that you're too old for this, speak up. Speak out.
Stay bold.
Right. We will get you some help.
Yes.
Because you guys are wearing this thing, like I said, like a badge of honor. Dun, da, da, da.
We're all guilty of talking about our ghosting capades. I think we are. Ghostcapades.
That is real. And if you guys are really trying to be in alignment with self and source,
I know for sure, like as far as spiritual alignment goes, you can feel when somebody is not spiritually aligned with you. We just choose to ignore it because we want what we want right then and there. I want what I want right now. And, doggone well that you feel that they're not connected to you. That person's not asking you anything about you. They don't care about anything deeper, nothing internal, and then they're really only giving you surface level conversation. They're giving you surface level. They're not giving you anything to go on because of whatever kind of blockage they have. But really, it's God blocking you saying, look, they not even giving you nothing, And I think it's all a test for us to just really get closer to God because, he's just trying to figure out, okay, so when you gonna get it?
Right.
You guys, we have got to get out of our heads about this air of mystery that we have surrounding the ghosting. We want to believe the best in people. We want to believe that people have your best interest at heart. And it's not that they don't, but it's not the interest at heart you're thinking. If a male or a female is ghosting you, take it as that. It's okay for you to not be dreaming up something about this person that you feel that they have going on. Oh my gosh, they're just going through such a rough time. People do kind of make time for the things they want to
do.
Yes, if they feel that there's value there, then they're going to continuously come back to you. And I'm talking to myself here too. I am. Yeah, you can dream up something so long that you will stay in a situation forever.
All right,
if you
'cause
allow it.
we can be very delusional.
Delulu.
Yeah,
Right.
and you'll
Yeah.
stay trying to make up excuses as to why that human is acting this way. And, oh, I got ghosted because they're just going through, like you said, so much. And I mean, I can be that person to break through that brokenness. We all think like that.
Yes, we all trying to save the goat. We steady calling Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. We trying to steady make him pop up.
We are, and you have to have somebody in your space
You
to call
want-
you out. Like,
You want the ghostest with the mostest.
don't let it capture you. Don't. Please. We can laugh about this now, but we know somebody out there in the Truth
Yes.
Tribe Nation is like
Yes.
literally going through it.
And you know what? Ghosts are dead.
We're not dead.
We are not dead.
Baby,
Okay?
we over here speaking life.
If ghosts are dead, we need to leave them in the ground.
We're alive. We're breathing. We have breath in our bodies, right? We wake up. We give thanks. We have downloads. We have creative moments. We have full autonomy to live out and draw out our canvas of whatever that looks like. But loving on the ghost. Look, friend. This is the ghost hands. Will you marry me? Oh. I'm not manifesting that in my life no more. Now that I know what I'm dealing with and what I was dealing with. Okay. A ghost can no longer come into my space because I've acknowledged it. I'm working on it. I have tools to get in front of rejection and abandonment. I am speaking to the universe of being in spiritual alignment, but it's up to me if I'm gonna let it in.
No, friend. You know, ghosts be walking through
That
doors
ghost
and
will walk through a door.
stuff.
You know what? A ghost will walk through your
He
door.
will walk through your door. You got to be spiritually prepared
It is
for
true.
it. Now, the Bible says we wrestle not with flesh and blood.
That is true.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, ghosts is spirits. So if they coming through, we got to be ready spiritually for that ghost.
We do. We have to be spiritually ready for the ghost. Baby, I be having my sage. I be saging my door. I sage myself.
Yes.
I am trying to be powered up. My favorite
Yes,
character.
friend. Goku.
My favorite character. Dragon Ball Z.
Super Saiyan,
Yes.
friend. Yes.
Okay, so we got to do what we need to do to combat these ghosts.
Yes,
Okay,
we do.
But also too, I think we have to understand how powerful we are
Yes.
in what we feel, what we say, how we move,
Yeah.
and we can no longer give energy to this social media platform of cheering on ghosting. As a community of humans, how do we get in front of this ghosting? I'll say for me, you want to date me and you want to take me out on a date? Oh, it's going to be some questions up front.
A very smart person, they may even be a ghost right now, but a very smart person told me one time to have those kinds of conversations up front.
Yeah.
If you are a person that works out and you want someone that works out all the time and you don't want your significant other to begin to let themselves go, that comes with it. What were you saying, friend? A code of conduct?
Yeah. Having a personal code of conduct.
A personal code of conduct, but also having set rules and guidelines to follow in that relationship. If someone gets pregnant, has a baby, a few extra pounds are going to come on. Like, those are things that you guys should be discussing in the forefront. Not just that I want to have a child with this person, but if you know that that's a non-negotiable and you know that that's going to send you away.
You're right.
Like, those are things that need to be spoken about up front. Those are difficult conversations that we don't have up front because we're so
We're not friends. That's what it is.
We're not friends.
We got to stop entering into this dating pool and not truly being friends.
Yeah. We're not friends.
We're not friends. We didn't spend enough time in the friend zone to truly have these conversations of what do you like? What do you don't? Really getting deep into understanding each other.
Yes.
And I think we're so quick to jump in the bed. That chemical connection has happened.
The chemical connection has happened. And so we're living in a dreamlike state in the beginning of a relationship. So we're not having difficult conversations because we are trying to be all that we can be for the ghostess with the mostest. Me. And it's unrealistic. Men, I gotta call out some behaviors that I have seen, and this is kind of where women sit with this. You are being all that you can be in the beginning for whatever you're trying to get, if that's the case, for whatever you're trying to get, whether it's companionship, whether it's love, whether it's sex, whatever the case is, you're being all that you can be in that moment. And then, it's just like, well, we ain't really nothing, we just doing what we do. You know what I'm saying? You know what's up. That kind of thought process leaves a woman. A lot of men say, hey, look, we need to communicate effectively. That's not very clear communication when it comes to a woman. So you saying you know what it is? No, she doesn't know what it is.
No.
She doesn't know what it is. Okay? This is don't shut me up. She don't know what it is. Okay?
It is your responsibility to be able to explain what it is and articulate it in your way. Doesn't matter how it comes across. Just be able to say, this is what it is. It is up to us as women to say, you know what? I'll deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm not going to deal with it.
Exactly. At least give the opportunity.
There you go.
I've heard a man say this before. Well, if I tell you what I really want, are you going to stay? Guys, that kind of thought process is not healthy. It's not healthy. You thinking with the lower half. And that's not going to get you anywhere.
We just need to step our game up of communicating. And it's okay for you to say, the first step is to say, I'm not a great communicator.
Yep.
I get scared of communicating my emotions and how I feel, and so this is what I tend to do, but I don't want to do that. Just creating that space to be able to say, what are your weaknesses? What are some levels of improvement that you need to improve on, when you're dating someone or trying to date someone? Oh, here's another one, friend.
Yes, friend.
Let's just take it one day at a time. What does that look like?
At what point do we start wasting folks' time? At what point?
Right. Raise your hand if you value time. You know what? Sometimes in our classes we say, name one thing you love about yourself. Oh, I value people and time. Do you really?
And those are two very important things.
Because not telling a person, I'm just not interested in you. It was fun in the beginning, but I think we're headed in two different directions. And there's nothing wrong with that. You just ghost. You don't value a person. You don't value their time.
You wasted my time in the beginning. You wasted my time. And that's another.
We can stop the heartbreak. We really can.
We really can.
We can do it in the beginning. It'll sting in that moment.
Yeah. It's got to be a control thing. Let's just say that you all agree upon sex and sex only. I feel like some people feel like just sex isn't good enough unless there's an emotion involved. So I'll treat you like I love you. And, because sex is always better when it's more intimate and I have that kind of emotional connection. So I feel like that's the reason why people aren't so upfront, because if you just say, okay, well, I just want to have sex to get my rocks off, then there's the control, okay, you're not controlling me. I'm not controlling you. And so it's just sex. It's just a feeling. Let's go on about our business.
Right.
You know?
This control comes from your childhood. You do know that, Truth
Yeah,
Tribe.
come on,
I need
friend.
you to understand that if you are operating in this state of always having to have control
Yeah.
and control by ghosting, it comes from your childhood.
Girl, controlled by ghosting sounds like
Way of
death
putting
by
it.
fire. Or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It is controlled by ghosting. I can see people and how they're walking with their chest poked out like, I'm the shit. I done just ghosted this individual.
I am the shit.
We see how you guys be moving. And you got the other person over there at home like this. Checking the phone 24/7.
24/7, you
Checking
guys. That's not healthy. You sitting at the house waiting on somebody. Think about how weighed down that makes you feel. You worried about if somebody is going to call you. Anxious. You are very anxious.
Anxious attachment
Yes,
issues.
anxious attachment. And I'll just be very high level with the anxious attachment is when an individual, anxious attachment is a lot like codependency.
It is
Yeah,
codependency.
so someone makes themselves readily available in your life. Again, like in the very beginning, when you get in a relationship with somebody, or when it's in the talking stages, even in the very beginning, you want to be around that person all the time. You want to be in their face all the time. They're dedicating time to you that they've taken from work, and they're, allocating it towards you. And you're thinking that things are going to be like this all the time, right? So I'm talking to you every single day, all day. You asking me stupid questions like, hell, what you eat this morning? What you eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
Grand Rising.
Grand Rising. I'm a Grand Rising.
I'm not going to get off on that tangent, but you better not ever send me something
Grand
else on
Rising.
Grand Rising. I'm done.
Red flag.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you sending grand risings every morning. You're trying to, you doing things, good morning, beautiful, every morning, because you just sent that random text message out to everybody on your list. So, you've made that person so dependent on hearing from you every single day that when you start retracting that, because really you're playing the anxious attachment to get me sucked in, but then you turn into the anxious anxious avoidant? But you become avoidant of the anxious attachment individual once you figure out like, oh shoot, I done got in too deep. I got to try to figure out how I can get rid of this person because they're doing too much. I can't take it. This is too much. This is overwhelming for me. I don't really want to be all of that I was. Mm-hmm. And so then that person either becomes a ghost or they start lashing out in ways that are very unhealthy. I start telling you things. I get irritated with the things you start saying to me. I don't want to be around you anymore so I'll start making up stuff.
Right.
I'll start being pissed off. I don't like the way you chew.
You smacking, getting on my nerves.
Girl, it's that little pooch he got down there.
Every little thing. I was both, Fran.
Yeah.
Going through that ghosting stage, I was both. And I remember my counselor asked me, when this ghost ghosted you, did you feel as though you wasn't lovable? And I was like, yeah, that's what that is. But see, for me, I know with anxious attachment, there's a clinginess that is there. And I am not clingy at all. If anything, you want to ghost me? I'll act like I've never seen you before in my life. I'll walk past you and I won't even look your way.
I don't even know you.
But I will. I can't even pick you up in the lineup.
I couldn't even pick you out in the lineup. Who are you?
Right. So that's how I dealt with that. Right? Like, okay, if this is what you want, this is how you're going to move, then, hey, I'm going to top it. Yeah, who are you? I don't even know who you are.
You going to hell, I'm going lower.
Right, I'm going to go lower, right? And so I'm the total opposite of being clingy and expressing myself, but I suffer in silence. And that's where that
real.
avoidant energy, comes
coming
in,
out.
right? It starts coming out. And you have to get to the root of both of them. Why am I avoiding? Why am I anxious? Where is all of this? And it comes from your childhood. And mine was rejection and abandonment, right? All of this stuff can be brought to the surface when just a human ghosts you.
Yeah.
And that's just my honesty right there. I just reframed it and looked at it as these were things that I needed to get out of my system to be able to thrive in the space that I want to be in and attract the right human.
That's
because I actually attracted that human because there was something inside of me that didn't feel good enough,
right?
Self-doubt, lack of confidence, emotionally disconnected, emotionally unavailable.
Yeah.
So I attracted that energy.
Yeah. We can talk about that too, friend. That is another topic, is you are who you attract. So who you are in that space is definitely who you're bringing in. So you got to understand that, you mirror who you're attracting.
It's true.
Yeah, you really
do. Law of attraction is real.
It's real. It's real. And it's something people get all taboo. I put that game over there for a reason. People get all taboo about certain things. They get taboo about, it's like people avoid certain conversations, but these are the conversations that we need to have in order to grow as a people. We need to talk about spiritual warfare because it's not coming in the way that you think it's coming. That's what's keeping us bound. That's what's keeping us lost. That's what's keeping us just living in lies. Okay? I just got to call it like I see it. That's what's keeping us living in lies. Is not having those taboo conversations, not talking about a spirituality on a deeper level. We're only talking about it from a certain standpoint, but we're not digging deep to try to do the self-healing work. We're saying things like, I'm just going to give it to God. And when you go talk to your friend about certain situations, it's like, ooh, I'm going to pray for you. You done left me in my head.
Yeah.
And then you say stuff like that because you really don't want to talk to them. You are cutting them off at the pass because you really don't want to hear what they have to say.
No, and you're not capable of leading a conversation that is full of empathy, compassion, understanding to get that person to clearly see that this is the role you played. This is the role that individual played in the ghosting efforts or whatever. You may not you're not competent enough to have that emotionally intellectual conversation at that moment. So you're like, I'll pray for you.
Girl, I pray for you. And that's your way of cutting the conversation short.
This ghost will lead you down a rabbit hole of so many topics to talk about. Ghosting.
Because it brings up a lot of trauma.
It does.
It brings up a lot of trauma.
That's the root of ghosting. It's attached to trauma. It's triggering.
It's traumatizing. And so you guys, oh my gosh, we are going to have to do a ghosting part 2. Okay? Because this is a deep topic because it forces you to think about yourself and how you react to certain situations. And so we are very, very grateful to have this platform. Y'all might see us in the outfits again on another day.
It's okay though. We love dressing up.
We do. I'm so grateful for you, friend.
I am too. I'm grateful for Fran too, because Fran was coming with the downloads, and I can appreciate that
too, friend. We compliment each other very well. I'm very, very grateful for you.
We do. So Truth Tribe, we would like to hear from you.
Yes, we
about
do.
ghosting or a moment in your life that you felt ghosted, or you know someone that is a ghost and loves to ghost other people, right? We want to hear from you. But before we leave, we're always about solutions, right?
That's right. Thank you, friend. I was just thinking that.
Right. If you're in it and you're like, I just need some type of support.
Yes.
You have therapy out there. Mm-hmm. You have the art of rejuvenation, art therapy. If you don't want to do just a traditional therapy, right? Start really diving into self-awareness.
Yeah.
So you can build your self-esteem. Stay around people that champion you.
Yes.
Setting boundaries.
Set healthy boundaries.
If you don't know how to do it, there's life coaches, like I said, therapists. There are people that can help guide you and teach you how to set boundaries. Taking a deliverance course, mindfulness and meditation, grounding, creating your space to love you. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter what your friends say. Our friends will come into our space and be like, oh, it's so smoked out, or what you got. No, it's our space. And when I say smoked out, I mean incense.
Oh, not like that.
So let me just be crystal clear. I'm not talking about the other one. I'm talking, but that's your choice if that's what you want to do, right? Mm-hmm. But you got to bring in some type of practice to get you over the hump of somebody ghosting you. It starts with you. Put in the effort. God puts in the effort every day to show up and show out in your life.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Make it happen.
Come on, friend.
Like friend said, it's not your fault.
No, it's not your fault.
People are lifing. People are going through some things, and they are not willing to be open about what they are broken about or learned behavior from their childhood and all the brokenness that people carry. It's not you. The only thing we ask you to do, Truth Tribe, is fix you. Mm-hmm. And create a stable emotional plan that keeps you grounded and less risky.
Come on, friend.
Hey.
No.
Hey, friend. Oh. Thought I said something.
Yes.
Friend, take us out of here.
Yes, let me go ahead and take us up out of here. I also want to let you guys know that you are supported and you do have a space. This is a free, open space for you to come. And if you are having a concern that is troubling your spirit, and you just need to get it out because you're too embarrassed, because that happens. You're too embarrassed to discuss this in your surroundings. Know that we are here. This is a platform for you to speak up and speak out.
Your truth is your truth. We are not here to judge your experience and your truth.
Thank you, friend. Thank you. Nice save. Nice save. Yes, we're not here to judge you and your experience. But we want to make sure that you're supported. You guys, make sure you do some meditation. You can find guided meditation work online to help you get rid of anxiety. If you just need to sit and listen to something that is going to align you spiritually. Exactly. I just heard this and I just said exactly. But get into your word. Mm-hmm. If that makes you feel more comfortable, whatever your spiritual internalization is, get into it, okay? And get into that and get out of that ghost.
I love it.
And then get out of your own way from healing. Sometimes we are our own worst enemies, and we are the ones that's stopping ourselves from healing because we want what we want so bad. Yeah. Sometimes what we want is not healthy for us. So that those definitely meditation. Reach out if you need someone in your corner. We are always here, and we're not here to judge. These are just some tips for you, not to make you feel judged, but just to help you along the way to your healing journey. You guys, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Don't Shut Me Up.
It's been a blast.
Yes, it has been amazing. We are going to come back. We may need to do a part 2 of ghosting, because it, again, like we said, it brings up a lot of different things within ourselves.
Yeah.
And you all need to hear it, and we need to hear from you. So you guys, task list, make sure you read, just send us an email to say hi. We forgot to do shout outs. We'll do shout outs next time. Okay. We love you guys so much. And until the next episode, stay bold
and speak up,
because silence is not an option. Thanks, Truth Tribe, for listening to this episode of Don't Shut Me Up.
We are so glad you joined the conversation. Now go out there, truth tellers, and make some noise.
Also, make sure you subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any of your favorite streaming platforms so that you will never miss an episode.
That's right, friend. Truth tellers, your voice matters. Show us some love with a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and Spotify so we can keep this conversation going.
Listen, we know you like to gatekeep the things that you love, but don't keep us a secret.
Hello.
Let your friends know about this podcast, because it will help our tribe grow.
Until next time,
stay bold
and speak up.
And don't forget, silence is not an option.